Originally designed by Charles Moneypenny, the same architect who created Daytona International Speedway, Michigan International is best known for the awesome speeds and competitive racing spawned by its broad racing surface and 73-foot-wide, 18-degree banked turns. Michigan's width and steep banking ensure there's always more than one racing groove, and the fact that MIS is not a super speedway means drivers have more than enough power to make a challenge out of the turns at both ends of the track. Once upon a time, Indy cars frolicked on those high banks at breathtaking speeds. Witness to Paul Tracy's record qualifying lap of 234.9 miles per hour. Today, Michigan regularly vies with Daytona and Talladega and Texas as NASCAR's fastest speedways, with Jeff Gordon holding the NASCAR Cup Series track record at 206.558 miles per hour. Richard Petty, David Pearson, Bobby and Davey Allison, Dale Sr. and Jr., Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson have all added their names to the roll call of MIS winners, one that also includes names like Andretti, Foyt, Unser, Mears, and Zanardi from the days when Indy cars raced in the Irish Hills. Allison to Yarborough, Andretti to Zanardi, the world's greatest racing drivers have been coming to Michigan to test their mettle for more than 40 years, and the fans have followed by the hundreds of thousands. Tonight, it's race number 8 of the Concrete Floors Next Gen Series, and it's coming up next on HBR TV. Again, everyone, good evening. Welcome to HBR TV. Welcome to virtual Michigan Speedway for the Concrete Floors Next Gen Cup Series. 83 degrees, 51% humidity, cloudy skies, 8-mile-per-hour breeze. Track temperature 96 degrees, 100 laps tonight with, I believe, stages lap 25 and 50. Tried to reach out to race control on that to confirm. No word back just yet, but that seems to be right. Last week at Talladega, things were a little bit different, but I think that's what we're going to roll with here tonight. Practice just about wrapped up here from the Speedway. Top of the board, it is the 78 of Gary Slipinski. He is fastest thus far. Earl Lateral, Craig White, Paul Witt, Harold Decker, your top 5 as we get to 30 seconds remaining in the session. Clock strikes 0 on the session. Michael Martin going for a ride down the backstretch. Looks like just for fun. See who takes to the Speedway first in the qualifying session. 5 minutes, 2 laps. Set to field here tonight at Michigan. Looks like John Schoeneman will be the first to roll out. Again, what's nice about this track here at Michigan Speedway, it's kind of like a super speedway, but not quite. At 2 miles, it's a little bit shorter, but plenty of speed. But the good news is they're not reduced as far as the horsepower is concerned. It's not like you'd see at Atlanta, Talladega, or even Daytona. back and plenty of power in reserve. Schoenemann on his first lap. Schoenemann first lap by 39.428. Gary Slapinski goes to P4 on his first lap at 39.324. Second time around to be determined. Slapinski down the back straightaway. Slips to 8th on the board again. Lap number 2 likely to be the money lap in this session. The tire pressure's up just a bit. Craig White goes top of the board at 38.98. That's a good lap. 39 flat was the best we saw previously. Slapinski at the stripe. P1, 38.927 seconds for the number 78. He goes top of the board. Earl Latterell crossing the line. He's second quick. Front row, 38.950. Just missed it. Norman Clark ran a 39.18 his first time around. Lap 2, not quicker, a little bit slower actually. 39.21 for the 09 entry. Mike Howlett goes into the top 5 on his second lap at 39.018. Mike Rominger about to complete lap 1 of his attempt. Rominger goes P7 at 39.05. It's going to have to beat a 38.92 to put it on pole. Top 4 drivers all within that 38.9 bracket. All within 0.06 of a second. Real tight times here at the front of the field. Out of the throttle is Rominger. Lap 2, 39.13 for Rominger, not faster. Less than a minute remains in the session. James Randall on the Speedway. Lap 1 completed 39.46. Meanwhile, Noel Coors has taken the top spot, a 38.91. Just edges out Gary Slapinski. Randall's second lap quicker, 39.31. Tom Pritchard rolling out, but knows he's not going to get around in time to post a time. So that may wrap it up here as the clock is just about ready to strike 5 minutes. That will officially end the qualifying session. With that, let's get to our starting grid for tonight's Old Farts Sim Racing League Concrete Floors Next Gen Cup Series from Michigan Speedway. On the pole position with the time of 38.913 seconds. It is the 15 of Noel Coors. Outside front row, the 78 of Gary Slapinski. Missed it by that much, just over 1/100th of a second. He starts P2. Row number 2, Earl Latterell. The number 12, he starts 3rd. Craig White in the 3. He rolls off in the 4th position. Mike Howlett, he's going to start from 5th. Joshua Deese in the 5, he'll start P6. Mike Rominger in the 951, he's going to start from the 7th position. 8th goes to Frank Gramuglia. Harold Decker in the 9 starts 9th. Norman Clark in the 09, he'll start 10th. Corey Gray in the number 29 machine, he starts 11th. John Schoenemann's 12th. Everett Lane will be 13th. Paul Witt 14th. James Randall starts in the 15th spot. Joe Green, Mean Joe Green, wait a minute, he starts 16th. 17th starting position, Jared McCauley. 18th goes to John Stepanich. 19th, Michael Martin. Tom Pritchard, 20th. 21st, Alan McEwen. 22nd, Brad Allison. Shotgun on the field is the 900 entry, Larry Eddy, out of Indiana, the number starting 23rd. Your starting grid here from Michigan Speedway. Trackside here as the field sits on the grid in pit lane, just about ready to roll out. 100% fuel load tonight. Unlimited tire sets for this Cup Series. Stages indeed are 20 and 40. Corey Gray confirming that in the stream. Thanks, Corey, for letting me know. Appreciate that. We initially had said 25 and 50. They are indeed 20 and 40 tonight. Field formed up nicely, 2 by 2. Pace car lights off, so we will take the green flag this time by. Pace car ducks down into pit lane. Field about ready to come to life. Green flag waves. We're underway from Michigan Speedway. Lap 1 complete. Gary Zlipinski's taken the top spot already. Noel Kors from the pole position. He slips back to P3. Earl lateral into the second spot there on the concrete floors, number 12. Kors in the wall off turn number 2. Contact. He hits the Rominger machine. Puts himself into the wall as well. Everybody trying to scatter and avoid. We stay under the green flag, but there's going to be some damage to the right side of that High Rock Vodka Camaro. Not sure how hard that hit was for Rominger. We'll have to take a look and see how bad it looks on him, but tough way to start this one for Noel Kors. Oh, in contact, the 9 is around. Oh, big impact to the safer barrier. Engine grenading from the impact. That was 2 cars involved. I think Harold Decker, Frank Gramuglia. Frank sits in the grass still. We still don't have a caution. That is surprising. Both drivers do the tow job back to pit lane, so we stay under the green flag. Through all that, Earl Lateral has taken the top spot away from Gary Zlipinski. Some excitement here early on from Michigan. So 2 things. Let's take a look at the pass for the lead here if I can pull it up. Plenty of passing going on. It's hard to find. Here we go. Go back to the quick replay here. At the stripe, the guys behind him are getting into trouble. We'll go back to that in just a minute, but Lipinski got a run out of turn 4. Carries the momentum on the high side through the tri-oval, now down into turns 1 and 2. We'll speed it up here, go full speed. Lateral goes to the bottom, takes the spot away from the 78, and drives away. Let's take a look at the Harold Decker-Frank Ramuglia incident. Looks like Decker just comes off the wall, clips the 13 hard, sends both cars into the inside wall. Both drivers going to have some significant damage from that impact. Again, it sounded like somebody lost an engine immediately after the impact. That would explain the towing required for at least one of the drivers. The other one just kind of sat there hoping the caution might come out, but it did not, unfortunately. Top 3 all together off turn number 2 down the backstretch. Earl Lateral, Gary's Lipinski, Mike Rominger. Want to mention again in the stream chat, everybody, if you want, interact, say something. Tell me who you're watching, who are you watching from, who you cheering for, what am I missing? Did I leave the stream muted? Someone caught that in the practice early on. It was intentional, but that's okay. I appreciate it. So far, we've got a couple guys. Eddie Rose, Paul Witt, Corey Gray giving us the heads up on the stages. Vincent Short. Derek Welch from Numb Thumbs Gaming saying what's up. Derek, thanks for popping in. Seven laps in, Earl Lateral still with the lead. He's got a fast hot rod out front there. He's got about 4/10 on Gary's Lipinski. Gary showed some pretty good pace in the practice session earlier this evening. In fact, let's try to get a look and see what those practice times were. Gary's Lipinski was actually the fastest, a 38.969, but Earl Lateral was second quick, just barely edging out Craig White. Again, these are the practice times from early on in the session. Really, those first top 7 drivers all within a 10th. Just over a 10th, maybe just under a 10th and a half back to the top 10. So going to be a competitive one here tonight. Everybody going to be tight up on the back bumper trying to chase down leaders tonight. Derek Welch says Vince could beat them all. He's the man. Vince could probably do well over here, I'm sure, but these guys are fast. We talked to Zach Millett. I don't know if Zach's done any Numb Thumb gaming stuff, but he does have a win over here, but it was not an easy one. Definitely a lot of experience, a lot of speed in this league. Battle for the second spot. Gary's Lipinski, Mike Rominger's. Lipinski up top. Rominger tries to get it down low. A little loose, has to check up a little bit, but he's still on the attack. Off turn number 4, doesn't quite have the 78 clear, not even really at his door. He's going to tuck back in, sniff a little draft, and see what he can get in turn 1. Meanwhile, through that defending that Zlevinski's been doing, he actually gained some ground on Earl Lateral. Earl off turn number 2, the deficit was 4/10. Now it's just a 10th. Gary's Lipinski drives it way deep, slides up the racetrack a little bit. Lateral gives him some space to do it. Doesn't quite have the 12 clear off of 4. Earl's going to battle back on the high side, crossing the stripe here. Lateral's going to lead this lap. 11 goes on the board. Little side draft attempt there from the 78. Gets to the left rear on entry, but dives it back down to the bottom. Rominger in the picture again as well. Corey Gray has closed in while these top 3 have done some battling. Big wiggle out of Lipinski off turn number 2. That's going to get Rominger to the back bumper. Maybe a bit of a push now down the backstretch into turn number 3. I feel like I called turn number 3 turn number 2 about 5 times. Nonetheless, lap 11 just about complete. Field off of turn 4. About to cross start finish. Earl Lateral no longer your leader. It's Gary's Lipinski. Earl back to P2, but for how long? Rominger to the bottom with the 29 of Gray up top, giving the 12 a push into turns 1 and 2. This next-gen Cup cars, again, it's not a super speedway, but in this package, we've seen it in the past, it's a very racy package, and it kind of has some of those tendencies that you see on a super speedway like Daytona or Talladega, or even in the Atlanta case. Oh, Rominger almost into the door of the 12. He checks up. I don't think they made contact, but it was close. Earl Latterell, Mike Rominger battling for the second spot. Meanwhile, Lipinski's just looking at the mirror going, go ahead, boys. Battle it out. He stretched it out now to a 0.6 of a second advantage over second and third as they continue to fight for that spot. Earl's doing a good job maintaining that second position. Corey Gray's like, you know what? I'm going to take a shot at this. Rominger couldn't get it done, so he's going to tuck in behind the 12. Or is he? No, he's going to go with Gray. Gray and Rominger in the low lane. Rominger giving a push to the 29 into turn 3. That's going to help him nose into 3. And slide up in front of the 12 and the corner exit here. He's definitely going to have this spot. Rominger might even follow him through. He does. Great battle here for position. Back and forth they go. Rominger had Latterell cleared. Earl goes back to the bottom, trying to take the position back. Slide job? Nope, not enough room to get that done. Plus a lot of momentum up top for the 951 of Rominger. Little loose on exit, keeps it straight. Lipinski just starting to run away. 1.3 seconds now. At least that's to Earl. It's a full second to Mike Rominger in the second spot. Hate to jump away from these guys, but there's more than just 4 cars in this race, so let's try and get to them. Paul Witt, the 429. He's got some Spidey and friends there on that machine. He's running in the 5th position. Craig White just behind, and we got a battle for position here. 7th and 8th. John Schoeneman, Everett Lane. 24 of Lane up top. Schoeneman in the 49 down low. Mike Howlett in the 33. He's part of this picture as well. Oh, loose. Schoeneman is off turn number 2. Gathers it up. Great save by the 49. Doesn't even lose a ton of track position. He may lose a couple spots out of this, but he's got some pace. Again, we're 17 laps in already. Laps ticking off in a hurry here. Schoeneman drops back to the 10th spot. Randall goes on by as well. Got some big movers so far today. Corey Gray up into P3. He's up 8 positions from where he started the afternoon. Paul Witt in the 5th spot. He's up 9 positions. And Michael Martin in the 11th spot. He started 19th. He's also up 8 spots. So these guys moving their way towards the front. Big wiggle there in behind with the 5 of Josh Deese. Don't know if that was initiated by some contact or just taking the air off the spoiler. Harold Decker there in the 9 after his front stretch incident. Got repairs made, but he's at least 2 laps down, I believe. Another big mover, Tom Pritchard there right behind the 5. Pritchard in the 05. He's up 7 spots. Again, Josh Deese real loose off corner exit again. Saves the car. Norman Clark, he's going to go to the middle and make it 3 wide. This is 4 position. Clark is 14th at the present. Can pick up a couple of spots here, get himself into that top 12. Still side by side. Top and bottom, 3 wides, you're in the middle. Caution on the Speedway as the stage comes to its conclusion. Looks like Mike Rominger may have won the stage. Derek, thanks for chiming in, man. Appreciate it. Derek says, have a good broadcast. Great as always. Got some work to do. Have fun, man. Just going to rewind this here. At the start-finish, we were watching a 3-wide battle at the end of the stage, and it looks like, no, it wasn't Rominger. It was indeed Lipinski that took the stage win. So stage 1 winner, Gary Lipinski, the number 78 Mustang. Again, he is the cone police out there. He had an issue, I don't know, some races back where he got cone lodged underneath the car and was really slowing him down. I don't think he's going to run him over anymore. Just my opinion. Again, first caution of the night, not due to any issues on track. It's scheduled stage break. Again, lap 20 and 40 tonight. Just about everybody coming down pit lane here to get some scheduled service, tires and fuel. I would assume, again, full fuel tanks, but you might as well keep the balance how it started the race. Unlimited tires, so they're going to take 4, I'm sure. Lipinski in the box, nice and clean. Right sides go in the air. Earl Latterell just behind, same situation. Crew goes around to the left side. Sunoco Racing Fuel going in. Left side tires going on. 4 tires and fuel. Gary Lipinski is down and away. 15.13 second stop for the 78. Again, our stage winner, Gary Lipinski. Let's see if we can pull him into the booth and get a quick word with our stage winner. Gary, it's Steve in the broadcast booth. You got a copy? Well, congratulations. Stage 1 win for you. 20 laps. It seemed like a sprint. You started, I think, P2. What did it take to get out front and stay there? Tire. Got it fixed and ready to go chase down another stage win. Gary, we'll let you get back to it. Congratulations on that stage 1 win. Good luck the rest of the way. It's Gary Lipinski, your stage 1 winner. Can everybody confirm that you could hear Gary and not just me? We did a major Windows update last night, and my audio is all sorts of messed up. Well, nonetheless, we are on the 1 to go as pace car and the field work the exit of turn number 2 down the back straightaway here. Going back to the green flag, it'll be lap 24. This will be a real short stage to get us to lap 40. Again, if anybody in the stream chat can confirm that you did indeed hear Gary's interview, I wasn't getting any feed in my mixer on his audio, so if you guys didn't hear him, let me know. That could pose an issue later on. Don't want to start changing things unless I know for sure we got a problem. Pace car peels off the banking, goes down pit lane as we get ready to go back under the green flag. Field working into the Geico restart zone. Green flag waves. We're back underway. No need to confirm the audio. I did figure out there was a tick box that was not ticked. So no stage one interview for Gary Zlepinski. We got it covered here, but nobody heard it. So nonetheless, we'll get it right here. Maybe he'll win stage two and we can talk about it then. Looking strong out front, though. No help on the bottom, but it is the short way around. Corey Gray looking to the outside, trying to take the top spot here. We're quarter distance here at Michigan. Again, a very short stage. Got to go to lap 40 to complete this one. They're moving right along. Still side by side for the top spot. Gary Zlepinski down low, Corey Gray up top. Earl Latterell in the third spot. He's hanging there watching this battle unfold. Still side by side for the lead here. Lap 27, Corey Gray up top, the number 29. The 78 down low, that's Gary Zlepinski. Battle up front is not going away. 28 laps in. Earl Latterell there in the third spot. Again, waiting for a mistake out of somebody. And a big wiggle off the 29 off turn number 2. There's that mistake. Cost him some time. I don't know how much, but Earl Latterell now to the back bumper of Gary Zlepinski into turn number 3. Mike Rominger behind the 12. And we got 5 or 6 others coming into the mix as well. This is no longer a 5-car battle. We've got 5, 10 cars out in front trying to get a good finish here for this stage. It's coming up in about 11 laps. Corey Gray finally gives it up here. He slips back to the third position, but he's not done. He's going to have a run off the corner here. Now side by side with Earl Latterell through the tri-oval. Across the stripes, Lipinski still leads. Latterell still second. Rominger now challenging. He's right to the back bumper of the 12, down in the bottom lane next to the 29. Not a great entry for Rominger. Maybe slipped up the track just a bit. Oh, again, almost some contact between Rominger and Earl Lateral. Rominger checks up to not really run him over. While Corey Gray goes to the point here on the bottom side, shortcuts the track on the flat through the tri-oval. Does he have enough to get in front of Zlapinski? No, not with the push from the 12. Into turn number 1. Zlapinski edges a nose out in front, but side by side through mid-corner to exit of turn number 2. Big run. Corey Gray loses it a little bit off 2. Slides that right rear. For Everett Lane with a good run into turn 3. He passes Craig White. So back out front, stage 1 winner, Gary Zlapinski. Have to get a closer look. It looks like he may have some right front damage. Am I seeing that right? Looks pretty good from the blimp. Crazy battles going on here at Michigan Speedway. Gary Zlapinski, though, doing a good job hanging out front. Earl Lateral there in the second position, right to the back door. Again, this stage ends at lap 40, so these guys are in attack mode from the drop of the green flag to the green and white checkers. Earl way deep into the corner. You see how much that car's wiggling on corner entry. Might have a nose to the inside. Stays tight with the 78 down the backstretch. Gonna take a peek to the inside. Earl Lateral to the bottom for the lead at Michigan. Coming to 34 laps to go. 12 may have Zlapinski clear. No, big run on the top side for the 78. Great way to defend. You saw him once the 12 got to the bottom. He went up top side, used that momentum to take back the top spot. Lateral's going to drop now back to 4th. Corey Gray following the 78, at least off corner exit through the tri-oval, not through 1 and 2 so much. But now Paul Witt enters the frame. That is the blue and red painted Spidey and Friends machine. He's in the 3rd spot. Haven't seen a whole lot from Paul today, but he's making his presence known within the top 3 here as we come to 35 to go. It'll be 35 laps, 6 laps to go to close out the stage. Battle continues now for the 3rd spot. Lateral and Witt. Lateral on the bottom in the 12. Witt, the 429 up top. Craig White in the picture, that number 3 Mustang, side by side with Mike Rominger. Again, not very close side by side. You've got tons of racetrack here. This place is so wide. Everett Lane a little loose off turn 2, keeps it straight. Lateral going to the bottom, gonna make it 3 wide. Again, it sounds so exciting, but this track is so wide, it's not that hard to do. Made it pay, though. Takes the spot away from Paul Witt. Gets alongside Corey Gray. Once again, different stage, but still same as the first. Zlapinski getting away as everybody behind him continue to do battle for position. But, man, the man on the move is certainly Earl Lateral. He is fast. Pass him, and he passes you back. It's so frustrating as a driver. You think you got something on the guy, you get by him, and then the next lap or even half lap, he's making a move. As Rominger's making a move himself to the bottom into turn number 3. 3 wide once again. Way up top is the 05 of Tom Pritchard. Rominger's going to take a spot or 2 out of that move. Great job by the 951. Paul Witt's going to try and battle back to the inside. Again, back and forth, seesaw, seesaw. I know, again, it's not a super speedway, but it certainly seems to race like it. Witt real loose off turn number 2. What does he save it? He does. Paul Witt super loose off the exit of turn 2. Had that thing all sorts of crossed up. Drove it down almost to the infield campground. straightens it back out. It is all paved down there. That is a big help. He continues on, and he remains in this fight, albeit back in the 11th position. Out front, still Gary Zlipinski over Earl Latterell. It's about 0.2 of a second back to the 12, car length and a half, if you will. Corey Gray going way up top, trying to work in that high lane. There's some speed up there. Everett Lane, all sorts of loose once again. Keeps it gathered up. James Murray in the stream chat following Mean Joe Green. Thanks for chiming in, James. Appreciate it. Joe Green back in the 17th spot. Number 42 Silverado sponsored machine. Can't really see it through the grandstands. There we go. Kind of maintaining his position throughout the race. Started 16th, has dropped to 17th. Still out front, though. Battle continues. And a caution. We got a wreck off turn number 2. Joey Deese involved. This is going to effectively become our stage. Zlipinski's going to win stage 2 as well. Let's try and get a handle on who was involved in that. I know Joey Deese was one of them. Very easy to spot that white and green machine. So it looks like Joe was coming down the track, but the 69 had a head of steam on the bottom. He clips him in the right rear, sends him up into the 49. Joe Green gets through it. Let's take another look. Yeah, I don't know if the 69 had fresh tires, but man, did he have a run on the bottom. Joey Deese was already committed to go to the bottom, but did not see the 69 coming with that head of steam and just clipped him on the way by. First caution for cause tonight. But it's also going to act as our stage break, so it's almost like a freebie. Field off turn 4. Everyone down pit lane once again. And now that we got that box unchecked, once Gary Zlipinski, the number 78, finishes his pit stop, we'll pull him back up into the booth. Try this again. Hopefully you guys can hear him just fine this time. Zlipinski, lateral. Craig White, short in the box, has to speed it up a little bit. That's going to cost the 3 some time. Denol Coors in the front, right sides, crew around to the left. Everybody 4 tires and fuel once again. So let's give this another shot. We'll pull Gary Zielinski, I can't even say it, Zlipinski. There we go. It's a tough one, I'm not going to lie. Gary, it's Steve in the HBR TV booth again. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Well, I'm glad you won the second stage because the first stage we had a box not checked, and well, I'm the only one that heard you. So, nonetheless, stage 1 you win it, stage 2 you win it, and it seemed to be in similar fashion. It was a little rough, a little challenging there at first, but those guys got racing behind you, and you started to put some distance on them.
Yeah. I was moving around there too, trying to find a good line, and kind of like the a little higher in 1 and then go down low in 3 and 4 there. Not real low, but that second line there, and that kind of works for me. The tires look pretty good, pretty decent. Hopefully I can take care of it. I'm going to take it a lot easier this run, and hopefully I can pull out a win tonight.
Well, we'll see how it goes. These first 2 stages pretty short, this one especially, with a longer run to the finish here. What are we looking like as far as the tire life is concerned? Are they going to make it all the way to the finish? You guys going to have to stop again and take more rubber?
If I can go all the way, I will, for sure. But if I fall off a lot, I might think about coming in.
All right, Gary. Well, good luck to the finish, man. I see the pace car lights off. We'll let you get back to it.
All right. Enjoy the show.
It's Gary Zlipinski, your stage 1 and stage 2 winner. Pace car lights, as we said, are off, so we're on the 1 to go. We're going to get the restart at lap 43. It's going to give us about 58 laps all the way to the finish. Again, we do have the opportunity for green, white, checkered finishes if they are so needed. We're not anywhere near that yet. But if they do come into play, we have up to 2 attempts if needed. I don't think we'll need it. We've only had really 1 caution for cause tonight. And again, it effectively turned into our stage break, so it kind of worked out conveniently. A little bit early. So really what this does, if everybody was close on fuel, now they're a lot closer because that caution came out about a half lap to a lap sooner than they had planned. You're going to see a very different stage unfold here. Pace car pulls off the banking, getting ready to go back to the green flag. Again, they have to get into that Geico restart zone before they can fire.
Green flag.
They wait for the flag, man. Barney waves it. We're back underway. Barney waves that thing for all it's got. So once again, it's the 78 and the 12. This Lipinski and Lateral show off turn number 2, but Rominger and Gray coming in hot as well. Craig White in the picture in the 5th position. While Harold Decker in the pit lane again. Not sure if he's just checked out or had another issue. Back out front, Lipinski is going to lead to the line after the restart. Lap 44 goes on the board. Again, you heard Gary Lipinski in that stage winner's interview talk. He's going to try and take care of his stuff a little bit more. Again, a much longer stage here. First stage was 20 laps. The second stage was about 15. This final one, 57. Lateral closing into the back bumper of Lipinski in the turns 1 and 2. You got to wonder if Earl is just trying to push the issue here, make Gary burn up his stuff, kind of getting his head a little bit, get to the back bumper, getting his mirrors. Top 4 under a blanket into turn number 1's Lipinski, Lateral, Rominger, and Gray. Then Craig White. That's the top 5. Tom Pritchard, Paul Witt, Everett Lane, Jared McCauley, and Noel Coors in the 10th spot. Noel had some pace early. Still sits there in the 10th position. Again, don't count him out. It's one thing I've noticed with these guys in this league. You won't see a guy all night long until about 20, 25 laps to go, and all of a sudden the dude's unbeatable. It's because they save their stuff until the end. Most of these races run a lot of green flag laps, don't have a lot of opportunity to get the yellow flag with the exception of the stages. It's a very welcome sight in a league like that when guys aren't bringing the yellow out naturally. It does help the broadcast side of things if we can get a break or two. These guys are all so talented, though. They don't get cautions on a regular basis. Lipinski still out in front. Lateral, Rominger, Gray, the top 4. Pritchard now up to P5. Looks like Craig White might have had an issue off turn number 4. I don't know if it was connection related or if he put that car in the fence just a little bit. Everybody seemed to scatter to avoid, but Craig White stays in it. He was up in the top 5 just a lap ago. Now he sits 10th. Battle between Corey Gray and Paul Witt. That's for the 5th position. Gray up top. Witt down on the bottom, the 429, that Toyota Camry. Paul Witt's going to clear the 29 of Gray and move himself into the 4th spot. A 7-car pack at the front of the field starting to separate itself from everybody else. I guess the question is, are these guys running too hard, or is that second pack running too soft? As the run progresses, we're going to find out, because the guys that save their stuff early tend to be a lot quicker later on. Just about to complete lap 50. That would put us past halfway officially. Gray trying to fight back on the bottom here, taking a look to the inside of Paul Witt. Top 3 remain unchanged. Gray drives it to the bottom, almost to the white line, or yellow line for that matter. Off turn number 4. Doesn't have the spot cleared, but he's certainly making his presence known. Lap 51 goes on the board. We are halfway, and we're going to step aside here, take a quick break, get one out of the way. Haven't taken one yet. But we're going to go side by side so you guys don't miss a thing, so stay with us.
The great thing about youth sports, they give young people an opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden them as people.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marcos Garza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream. It's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Michigan Speedway. Concrete Floors Next Gen Cup Series, race number 8, 55 laps in. Caution on the Speedway. Third caution of the day. Do have an incident. Looks like Frank Gramuglia and Joshua Deese coming together. Let's take a look at it. Josh Deese in the 5, all sorts of sideways off the corner. Gathers it back up, and somebody else. Oh, wait a minute. We'll take a better look at this from a different angle here. Yeah, this will probably help us out. We'll switch this up. Deese was real loose on the bottom, saved it, and then I think it was the 69 up top that had his own troubles. And then collected Gramuglia and the 5, yeah. Was it the 69? Hard to say. Oh, big impact. Gramuglia just destroys the safer barrier. Was it James Randall? Yeah, it was the 69 of James Randall. So he got real loose off the corner. Meanwhile, everybody taking the opportunity to pit. Let's look at it again here from the 69's perspective. Oh, man, that just... You look at these hits sometimes, and you just thank goodness that we're in the sim and not in a real race, because that would have been brutal. All right, so you see the 69... James Randall, he's up top, and you can see he's got a lot of wheel into it already, but it's going to catch some grip in the front off the corner, and then he's going to come down across the nose of the 13 in the middle. Everybody's sliding it off the corner. He collects Gramuglia, and then he gets into the 5 of Deese, and then they all go for a ride. There you have it. Through that cycle of pit stops, I think everybody hit pit road. In fact, all the way down to Harold Decker in the 19th spot. Gary Lipinski is going to be your leader. John Schoeneman there in the 49 out front, but he is not a lead lap car. Once we get the one to go, which could be right about now, he's probably going to get the wave by. There you see it. So we are on the one to go here from Michigan. It'll be lap 58 when we go back to the green flag. Still 43 laps, if you count that final lap to make it all the way to the end. Still way more laps than the first stage of 20. Guys are really going to have to take care of their stuff. Pace car peels off.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag, a little delay from the 78. Guys stack up just a little bit. Waited till the very last second to fire. Guys were trying to time it and just didn't make it work, and everybody gets away clean. That's the important part. Back underway from Michigan Speedway. Gary Lipinski still looking strong, seems to be the favorite, at least so far in this stage of the race. Lipinski out front, Paul Witt now into P2, Corey Gray, Earl Lateral now slips to P5 as Mike Rominger's trying to take that spot away. Close quarters back here, the 04. Right behind Rominger, that's Jared McCauley in the 04, almost making contact there with the 05 of Tom Pritchard. Still out front, things relatively settled. Lipinski with the lead. Witt, Gray, Rominger, and Everett Lane now the top 5. Again, the main point right now is save your stuff. I know these guys were lucky enough to have a caution come out. Gave them another opportunity to top off the tanks and get another set of tires underneath the race cars. But they still got to save. Again, a much longer stage, even with the caution. I think we were talking about 40-some laps to make it to the end since we've gone back to the green flag. As it sits now, still, it's going to be 38 laps to go. That is still almost the full distance of the first 2 stages combined. These guys really need to save the tire underneath them. I know in the real world, these tires hold up pretty well. In the sim, not 100% sure if that's the case. I don't have a whole lot of experience behind the wheel in the next-gen car personally. It seemed like Gary Lipinski was concerned about tire wear. Wasn't sure if he was going to really get after it early on, but he still continues to be the point man in this field. So we get to lap 64 here in just a moment. Battle for the 5th and 6th position shaping up. Mike Rominger down at the bottom, the 24 up top. That's Everett Lane. Rominger's going to lose a couple of spots here as the 04 also takes the spot, Jared McCauley. Rominger battling back on the bottom off turn number 2. Noel Kors, he's up another spot into P8. Earl Lateral not having a good stage 3 unless he's just really saving his stuff. Slipped back to the 10th position. He started 3rd and he's seemingly been up in the top 3 all night long up until this point. Oh, we got a car in the wall. Corey Gray scrapes a safer barrier. Everybody scattering to avoid. Corey stays in the gas. He's going to slip back. Everybody makes it through. Corey back up into the wall, into turn number 3. Some damage on the right side of the number 29 machine. He may have to pit to get this repaired. He is losing a lot of spots, trying to get down. He does make it to pit lane. Corey Gray in contention for a win here tonight. That's gone out the window, it seems. Right front damage to the Ream.com Chevrolet. Again, 2 faster pairs, I believe. He's going to come to the attention of the crew and quickly get that fixed. Going to take tires anyway. You might as well. You're there. You're going to lose all this track position anyway. Maybe he gets lucky enough to get a caution or even 2. Looks like right sides only, though. Didn't want to spend too much time in the box. Gary Lipinski, where is he? Just getting through to the start-finish line. Corey Gray, will he get back up to speed without losing a lap? Oh, this is going to be close. Got to get to the commitment line or the pit exit line. Blend line is what we call it. Down the back straightaway, but here come the leaders. That's the lead pack. Corey Gray now in the 19th spot on the lead lap, but with no drafting help. This pack is going to close in quickly. The advantage for Corey, though, is once they get there, he may be able to work with that draft and stay on the lead lap. What he's got to hope for now is a caution.